So in last night's game plan, for those of you who stayed towards the middle of the video, I shared it at 9 minutes. I made it very, very clear to buy, SPY, call options on a break and retest. And one of the break and retest levels that I gave you was 605. Once the SPY had a break above 605, it had an overreaction to the upside and quickly went into the 607s. Then it had an overreaction to the downside, retesting that 605 level. I made it very, very clear within the overall chat to just auto buy calls at the overall level once it hits, because the SPY is going to have a successful break and retest and a strong bullish trend day. With that being said, we ended up having multiple 100% profit returns in a row. I'm going to be breaking down all the massive wins that we had in a row. But first things first, I'm going to quickly get into the new game plan. So in terms of the new game plan, this is going to be so short, simple, and sweet. So the first game plan that I have for you is to buy put options. We are currently at all-time highs. So in terms of the level to be buying put options, it's not necessarily going to be a level unless we have a pullback during extended hours trading session or during normal trading hours session, and then we retest towards the highs of that initial pullback and we get a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. Other than that, whenever you are seeing a bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation at resistance, at new all-time highs, heading into tomorrow, you're going to want to be buying put options. So those are the two game plans for buying put options and identifying where you should be buying overall put options. In terms of a potential measured move, looking at the daily chart and the daily patterns on the SPY here, I would say the potential measured move would be 1.5 to 2 points above the previous closing price. So we previously closed at 609.73. Keep an eye on that overall zone, 1.5 points plus above for potentially put options. You are waiting for a bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, right? If we already get a pullback during extended hours or normal trading hour sessions and we spike back up and retest the highs of that pullback early into the day, you can buy puts on a retest as well. Now, in terms of the game plan for calls, we can potentially have a bullish recovery after dropping first. So in terms of the level that I have for you for calls, it's going to be two levels. The first level is going to be the following: 607.30. We have a clear resistance level at 607.30. If you look at the 30-minute chart, the SPY had a massive break above 607.30 and it did not drop back down yet. So based off the daily chart pattern that I'm seeing, along with the 30-minute overall trend with the break and retest strategy, I would consider even auto buying calls in between the zone of 607.50 to 606.50. You can kind of scale into that zone. Previous resistance to react to support, break and retest has not been tested. That's going to be the first zone. Now, in terms of the next zone, is very unlikely that we drop back down to this zone heading into tomorrow. But if we do, then the next level to buy calls, and I would just kind of auto buy at this overall level. The next level, once we go under 606.50, overall next level that I would keep an eye on. You can keep an eye on 605, but I'm telling you, keep an eye on this 604 to 603.50 overall range. Those would be the next overall levels, right? So that's the game plan. I explained to you exactly what to do with puts, and I explained to you exactly what to do calls. Use bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations in terms of the call zones, right? And play those zones, play those levels. Let me know how you do tomorrow. This is the only channel that's going to be providing to you the best levels to be trading, the best setups at. That's the overall game plan. It's short, simple, and sweet today. Now, in terms of all the wins, let's get into all of the massive wins that we had in a row. So, in terms of the overall game plan, buy the dips above 603. Now, in terms of the overall trades, this was the market open trade. You guys are well aware in terms of Team Roar, the vast majority of the market open trades tend to print massively, right? So you can literally just call it within the first 30 minutes to hour on the day. So we ended up buying SPY calls directly at market open. If you watched last night's game plan, you are well aware in terms of the overall game plan, it was just to be buying calls. I had no interest in buying puts. So the morning trade was 607 SPY calls at 48 cents a contract at 9:32 a.m. So if you go to 607 SPY calls at 9:32 a.m., you're going to see right here, this is where we ended up buying calls. Yes, we did end up buying these calls towards the exact lows. Now, when we did get in, they dropped from 50 cents to 30 cents, but you guys are well aware that we don't use stop losses. We put in our entire position size as our max risk per trade. So if the contracts expire worthless and go to zero, we lose our max risk per trade, our multiple. There's no need to get stopped out. So despite the 50% drop, these contracts did end up quickly going to 160 cents. So from 50 cents to 160 cents is a 200% plus profit return you could have potentially made on that, right? And if you were setting profit stops, you really wouldn't have been profit stopped out up until the 70 cent range or the 140 cent range, depending on where you're overall moving at. But overall, man, that was a phenomenal first trade on the day. And it ended up dropping back down to our overall entry. You guys are well aware, we're trading the overall trend. And when you trade the overall trend, well, it tends to come back to life all the fucking time. It tends to go from 50 cents to 300 cents multiple times on the day. So that was the first trade. Now, in terms of the second win in a row, because you guys are well aware, it's unlimited fucking winning. If you look right here, you're going to see the next trade was at 9:55 a.m. We ended up buying 136 NVIDIA calls for 60 cents a contract at 9:55 a.m. So if you go to 9:55 a.m., this is where we ended up buying those NVIDIA calls. In terms of this trade, it was timed a lot better. Not that we need to time our trades perfectly because we don't use stop losses. If you don't use a stop loss and the way you trade is you just let it expire worthless and go to zero if it doesn't work out. And then if you're green, you're up 15% plus, you set a profit stop, right? You don't need to set stop losses as long as you're putting in your entire max risk per trade as your entire position size. Again, we're doing the complete opposite of what everyone that you watch and follows does. This is a real-time zero-day options trading alert system designed to strategically make everybody money. Now, in terms of this overall trade, this is where we got in the 60 cent range, literally towards the exact lows. So you can see that's a massive improvement compared to the trade before that. And this trade ended up quickly going 60 cents to 190 cents. You really wouldn't have been stopped out up until the 170 cents, as long as you're setting the profit stops up and moving them a little bit higher. Overall, there wasn't a big pullback up until the 190 cent range, so you would have been stopped out right around this range right here. Now, you could have made 200% on that as well, so that's 2 wins in a row where you could have made over 200% within less than an hour trading the options, right? Back-to-back 200% plus potential profit returns. First one, you could have made 200% even though the trade dropped 50%. What the fuck does it matter if a trade drops 50% when you have the entire day for it to go in the fucking money? It's like, dude, these people don't understand how to trade the fucking trend. So anyways, all we do is win and trade the fucking trend, and it's unlimited fucking winning, non-fucking stop, as you can see in terms of the next trade, SPY calls. You guys are well aware. I mean, I made it very, very clear within the chat at 10:50 a.m. This was literally all I had to say for the day. It was just so fucking obvious, man. If you watched the game plan yesterday, because at the end of the day, I give people the opportunity to make a fuck ton of money before they even consider joining our group. But it was just free money, man. If you just took advantage of it, I made it so clear in last night's game plan that 605.50 to 605 is the zone to auto buy calls using the break and retest strategy, right? So in terms of last night's analysis, I didn't say auto buy. That was just the game plan. But in terms of the update, once I noticed in terms of the SPY, if you looked at the overall chart on SPY today, man, so I explained to you in last night's video from the Daily Chart Foundation on why this was so fucking bullish, along with my experience in trading SPY. It was just going to be such a strong bullish trend day that I didn't even give one single fucking level for puts in terms of last night's game plan. But it's just pure fucking common sense when you see a breakout above 605, which was the level that I gave you yesterday, and then it goes all the way to fucking 607.50, right? And this was towards 11 a.m. So when I'm seeing that, I'm saying, oh, wow. SPY just had a massive breakout, a massive overreaction to the fucking upside, and we're having a strong bullish trend day. So when I saw that big breakout, what I told people was, instead of chasing and buying the fucking breakout at 607, I told them just wait for it to go down to 605.50 to 605 and just auto buy the fucking calls. Just get the fuck in. Fuck the confirmation. Just get the fuck in. Because in terms of this overall day, it was supposed to be a strong bullish trend day, exactly how I told you. And in terms of the retest, as you can see, the exact bottom was at 604.99, which was the exact low of the zone that I told people to buy call options. And then as soon as my fucking level hit, it just fucking exploded. It just kept on fucking going up to 610. So, I mean, I would say if you took advantage of that one message that I wrote in the chat, I would genuinely hope that you made at least $300, if not thousands of dollars. So that was the best idea that I gave within the chat. In terms of 12:47 p.m., you're going to see 608 SPY calls, 42 cents a contract. So if you go to 608 calls, you're going to see right here, this is where we ended up getting in for the third massive fucking win on the fucking day. So just like the first trade on calls, had a massive drop first, then it recovered. This is the fucking beauty of trading the fucking trend and not using fucking stop losses, you know? So anyways, we ended up buying these fucking contracts right fucking here, and they dropped 50%, just like the trade in the fucking morning. And then from our fucking entry, they went from fucking 40 cents all the way to fucking 250 cents. It's like, man, if you just remove the fucking stop loss, hold and trade with the trend, set the profits up when you're green, it's like losing is a personal fucking choice. Now, in terms of the next massive win in a row, because you guys are well aware that 3 massive wins is just not enough. If you want to be the best, you just have to have unlimited fucking wins. As you can see right here, we ended up buying 603 SPY puts for 45 cents a contract while we were holding the calls. You can trade both ways. You can make a scalp against the trend and then you can hold the dead play, right? That's what we fucking do. There's no reason to sell a dead play unless you're fucking broke. If you can't afford to risk 50 cents on a fucking contract, then don't fucking trade. Common sense. Now, in terms of the 603 SPY puts, you're going to see right here, we ended up getting in on these puts literally towards the exact lows, right? So if you look at this overall trade, we ended up getting in at 119 on these overall puts, 603 SPY puts. So on this particular trade, we got in towards the exact lows right here, and it had a massive spike. It ended up going to 60 cents a contract, right? So we got it at 45 cents, went to 60 cents a contract. You could add a quick win within that one single minute, right? And then in terms of the next trade, we ended up having, as you can see right here, 609 SPY calls for 45 cents a contract at 2:51 p.m., right? The first 2 morning trades were calls. The first call dropped 50% first, then it went up 200%. The second call was timed perfectly. And then you just noticed when we played calls again, the first call dropped 50%, then it went up multiple 100% profit return from fucking 40 to 240. And now this is the second call after that, when the one before this, dropped a lot first. So look at the massive improvement. I tell you all the time, man, when we enter a trade and it drops 50%, and we're on the same fucking side of the trend, and we enter another trade with a different fucking strike, it tends to be way fucking better. And here it is happen again. 609 SPY calls for 45 cents a contract right here. And you're going to see this is where we ended up getting in. So we ended up getting in at 2:51 p.m. We got in right here. As you can see, this was literally timed perfectly, and it went all the way to 100 cents twice on the day. So you tell me, man, who the fuck do you know is trading like this every single day, 100% in real time, giving you the best trades in the game, preparing you to trade the best setups, giving you the best game plan, man? It's like, dude, I told you exactly what to fucking do. Losing was a personal choice, man. 605.50 to 605 is the fucking zone. I saw the confirmation. The confirmation was we just had a strong overreaction to the upside. So if we drop right back the fuck down, we're buying calls. Instead of chasing that breakout and looking for higher levels to use the break and retest strategy on, fuck that. We just had a massive breakout from 605 all the way into the mid 607s. If we drop straight the fuck down, we're buying the fucking calls at the previous resistance break and retest zone. Auto buy the fucking calls, right? So I told you to auto buy the fucking calls. The fucking trades printed non-stop. It was a phenomenal fucking day. In terms of power hour was not our best power hour session in terms of today. Tried SPX puts. It didn't work out towards power hour. But if you have 5 massive wins before that, and like I tell you all the time, you literally risk 25 to 50% of your overall profits if you choose to keep on trading. Not that you have to. Then losing and going red is a personal choice. You have to manage your risk accordingly. If you don't have money to trade, then don't fucking trade. So with that being said, we absolutely fucking crushed it. This was a phenomenal bullish trend day. For those of you who implemented last night's game plan, you should have had a phenomenal green day, making hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. With that being said, use that fucking game plan I gave you. You're going to be printing money at the speed of fucking light tomorrow. For those of you who are serious about trading alongside our secured private organization, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You get access to all of our trades, our real-time zero-day options trading alert system. I can assure you there is many, many members who are consistently making hundreds of dollars to $1,000 plus every single day. I see the same faces doing it and absolutely killing it. Big shout out, $1,000 profit here, 125% profit return here. Absolutely crushing, man. $462 there. $652 there. So it's the first link down below within the description if you want to join us. We are known for trading cheap, low risk, far out of the money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We do not use stop losses. Our entire position size is our entire max risk per trade. What we put in is our multiple, our max risk per trade. What we can make is unlimited profit potential. Every single month, we have 3 trades where we make over a 1,000% return, where we buy and sell for a 1,000% gain. If you make a 1,000% gain, that means that you can have 9 consecutive losses in a row and still be profitable. With this overall system, since the wins are so fucking massive and it's the highest risk to reward ratio in the game, you're going to see you'll have a very strong foundation where you can be profitable and successful with a low win rate, a win rate as low as 30%. We have the highest win rate in the game, trading far out of the money 0-day option contracts. You ain't gonna find any other trades like this available within the marketplace, man. I mean, the game plans alone speak for themselves. If you should have already figured out how to make money using the overall game plans. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're gonna be able to trade the game plans best because we've been doing this for over a decade and we know how to trade 0-day far out of the money option contracts. We know to strategically time these trades. And like I said, we've created systems that are designed to strategically make money and also designed for people to learn from and trade alongside us, right? So there is no stop losses. We trade the fucking trend. We hold the trades. If the trades drop 50%, then we don't lose. We just hold the trade. If the trades go green, we set the profit stop when we're at 15%. We get stopped out for profits. One way to increase our winnings, when we're down on a play, sometimes we buy a second strike. The second strike tends to be timed a lot better and it tends to go up a lot more, right? And then in terms of adding to winners, we add to wins to increase the wins. And, from there, we set the profit stop and that increases your wins a lot. One small move in your favor, it's going to help protect that, new profit stop, that new average cost. And I'm telling you, it works, man. You got to be able to experience this, man. This is the best possible system you can use as a trader, especially if you have a small account. And rich people prefer to trade this way because rich people are well aware that if you pay less, you risk less. And by paying less and risking less on far out of the money option 0-day contracts, it gives you unlimited options. You can make unlimited percentage gains. These are the biggest percentage gains within the overall stock market. And by setting a profit stop and having strong moves within your favor where there's no pullbacks, you're able to maximize those overall strong moves when they occur without getting profit stopped out. Even if you move the profit stop up higher, then eventually you get profit stopped out. There's some trades during power hour where the contracts go from 100 to 1,000 on SPX straight the fuck up without a pullback. And you literally get profit stopped out when there's a small pullback. It's like, man, this is the best fucking system you can possibly optimize for, like as you're moving your profit stop up. So for those of you who want to trade alongside with us, it's the first link down below. Within the description, you get access to our trades, zero-day options trailer system, our community, our secured private organization. It's the first link down below within the description, man. Like I said, man, just with this one message alone, you could have been self-sufficient. You could have just listened to auto buy calls. It was break and retest explained in last night's video. This message confirmed it in terms of auto buy calls. Like in last night's video, like I said, I didn't say to automatically buy calls. I said that's the break and retest level. If you see bullish confirmations, buy the fucking calls. But I made it an auto buy level. And the reason why I made it an auto buy level was because in terms of the SPY, all it was doing was forming support. It was forming support at the previous closing price, which is bullish, and then it was forming higher support towards 604.70, which is bullish, and then it had this massive breakout to 607.50. So I'm thinking to myself, like, if this just comes crashing back all the way fucking down to this previous resistance break and retest level at 605, just hop the fucking calls instead of fucking waiting for a bullish 30-minute candlestick. So in terms of like sometimes where I'll just automatically get in and not use a confirmation, my confirmation to automatically get in would be an overreaction. If my break and retest level is at 605 and we quickly go to 607.50 to 608 and then it just drops right back the fuck down, I'll just automatically get in due to the overreaction. The overreaction tends to trigger trend reversals along with the foundation. You know, for those of you who have experience in trading SPY, you should have all been well aware on how bullish today was going to be, which again is why in terms of the game plan, I didn't give you any levels to buy put options on. Every single level I told you was to buy call options on because the trend was identifying a strong bullish fucking trend day. It's like, dude, it's fucking highlighted out. This candle, this candle, this candle, next day, bullish highs, bullish highs, bullish highs. It's like, wake the fuck up, man. So it's the first link down below in the description if you want to print a fuck ton of money at the speed of fucking light. With that being said, I'm going to be signing off and heading back to the overall chat.